Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you how to create a navigation menu for your website. Okay, so let's first of all see the end product of this navigation menu that we'll be creating. So I'll just switch to my browser. Yeah, so you can see this is a beautiful navigation menu that we'll be creating in this video. So you can see by the left hand side we have the company logo, then of course the right hand side you have the nav items. We have the home, the about, services, contact us, gallery, and our blog. So this is what we will be developing throughout this video. So you need to follow me step by step to see how this is being done. Okay, so first thing first, we need to create a folder on the desktop. So I'll just create a new folder here, right click and create a folder, and I'm going to name it project. Okay, so the requirements for this tutorial for this project is we actually need a web browser, then an IDE, which in this case I'll be using the Sublime Text. Okay, so of course this is the source code of the finished product that you just saw. This is the HTML file, then of course the CSS file. This is the CSS file. Okay, so having created a folder on the desktop, I need to import the folder into Sublime Text, that is the IDE. So to do that, just click on file, then you select open folder, then we navigate to our desktop because that is where we created the folder, and of course the folder is project. So I'll just select project and click on select folder, then we can delete this. All right, so notice that the name of the folder is by the left hand side, and of course we don't have any file in the folder. That is why it is empty. Now let's create our first file. So to create a file, you can either click on file, then you select new file, or you can quickly hit Ctrl S on your keyboard to save. Now we're going to save this file in that exact folder, so I need to navigate to that folder that we just created by clicking on desktop and project. Just double click on the project. Now this is where we're going to be saving the file, and of course I'm going to save this file with nav.html. okay, so that is the file extension. Nav.html is what I'm going to save this. So click on save. That has been saved. So so it's time to start coding. Of course I'm going to bring in the basic tags of every web page by typing HTML, and of course I'll hit enter. Then I need to give it a title. I'm going to give this title is going to be navigation. I'll name it navigation bar. That is as simple as that. All right, so now let's go into our body. In between the body tags, I'm going to create a div. I'll call it div. Then in this div we're going to have two other divs. We'll create two other divs. I'm going to explain to you the reason why we're creating two other divs. Okay, so okay, now if you go back to the end product, let's see what we'll be designing. So like this red area is actually a container. That is the first div. You can see where it has red color, so that is the first div. Then the second div is going to hold our logo. Then the third div is going to hold the navigation items, that is the menu. All right, so let's switch back to our source code. Now I told you this is what is going to hold the right portion, so I'm going to give it a class. This we can name it something like navbar. I'm going to give it navbar. Then this is what is going to hold our logo, so you can just give it a class of what, logo. Then next one is the navigation menu, so I'm going to give it a class. I'll give this um, div a class of nav menu. Okay, as simple as that. Now having said that, for now we don't have a logo, so I will just type in logo here to signify that this div is reserved for logo. Now let's go to our nav menu. All right, so in this nav menu I'm going to create a tag called nav. Then in this nav we're going to be using unordered list to create our navigation. So I'll open the unordered list tag. Okay, this unordered list of course has list items in them, so I'll open the li tag, which stands for list items. Now of course our navigation, of course if you go back to the end product, our navigation, our navigation items here, they are all links. Okay, so to achieve that we need to use anchor tag to create a link to all of them. These are list items, but they are linked items. So let's go back to our source code. So which means in every li tags I'm going to have an anchor tag. So I'm going to create anchor tag. This is what is going to give us the link. Of course the href stands for hyperreference. So for now we don't want to redirect the user to anywhere, so I'll just use a symbol to signify that whenever the user clicks on the link it should remain on the same page. So the first nav item we're going to create is the home page. Okay, so this is it. So the next one is going to be li, then the link, which is anchor. I'll still maintain the @ symbol. Then the next one is going to be what? About us. After about us, let me check to see. So we have our services, contact us, gallery, and blog. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to do that quickly. So li, I have anchor, the hash, then is going to be our services. Then after that we're going to have li, anchor, hash symbol. Okay, so contact us, right? Contact us. So next we can easily copy this, of course copy this and just change what we have here. So instead of our services we're going to have after contact us, what do we have? Let me check. I think gallery and blog or something. Yeah, so gallery and blog. Okay, so I'll replace this with what? We have gallery, and of course the last one is going to be our blog, or blog, anyhow you want it. All right, so I think that is that. I'll hit Ctrl S to save. Now let's view our page to see what we've done so far. Yes, so this is how our page is looking like, at the moment. But of course this is what we want to achieve. So let's bring in logo. Alright, so we need to bring in our logo. Of course you must have gotten your logo. Let me steal a logo from this folder. So I'll drop the logo here. Of course the logo needs to be in the same folder. Alright, so this is our logo. The name is logo, and of course the file type, if you look at the file type here, is png. Now you need to take note of the logo, the name of the logo, which in this case is logo, and the file type here is what? png. Yours might be jpg or jpeg or gif. Okay, so you need to take note of the type. So in my own case, the name is logo, and you can see the type is PNG. So to add up that logo, I'll just replace where I have logo here. Where I have logo, I'll replace it with the exact logo that I'm going to be adding up. Now to add up the logo, we need an, of course, the logo is an image, so we need img tag, which stands for image. Now src stands for source. Source is going to take the name of the logo, which in this case is still logo, then dot the file type, which is in my own case is png. So that is how to add up the logo. The name of the logo dot the extension, that is the file type. Yours might be, if yours is jpeg, of course you're going to replace png with that jpeg. If yours is gif, of course you replace the png with gif. So in my own case is png. Okay, so as you can see, the name is logo and the type is png. All right, so now if I hit Ctrl S now and refresh my page, let's refresh this, you can see the logo has appeared. This is my logo. Now I think we're done with the HTML. Now let's create our style. Of course, HTML is just to render the text, then of course the CSS is going to make our site beautiful. Okay, so to do that, just press Ctrl N on your keyboard, then you hit Ctrl S to save. Now we're going to save this file with style.css. Okay, you need to save it in the same folder. You can see it's already in the file directory, in the same directory, desktop project. Of course, this is where I want to save it, and I'm saving it with what? Style.css. Then I'll click on save. Now it's time to start styling our page. Now first thing first, I need to give the background color of my page. So the background color is going to take of course I'll start with the body, so I'm going to call the body, so body, then I will give it a background color, of gray. Okay, so if I hit Ctrl S, now let's refresh to see if that has taken effect. So if I refresh this, notice that nothing happened. Okay, that is because we need to link up the style sheets, the style.css in our HTML page, and to do that, of course, we need to do that in the head tag. So you just come either below the title or above the title, any how you may like to put it. So in my own case, I'm using under the title, below the title. So just create open a link tag. That this is how to link your CSS. So href, of course, link, relationship is style sheets, the type is text/css, then the hyper reference is waiting for you to type in the name of the file that you want to link up, which in this case I'm going to use style.css. that is the name of my CSS file. So it's going to be style.css. Okay, so if I hit Ctrl S now let's go back to refresh our page to see if this will take effect. So if I refresh this, notice that my background color has changed from white to gray. Okay, so that is how easy it is to change the background color from our CSS. Now let's continue. Now from the HTML file, the next class we have here is what? Navbar. So I'm going to be styling this navbar. Now to call a class in CSS, we use period. Okay, so period or full stop navbar. Okay, that is the first class that I want to create. I want to style. I've called this, that is the selector. Now I need to give it properties. First of all, I'll change the background color. So to change the background color as easy as it is, just type in background color, then you specify the color you want. Okay, so let's assume we want to use something like green. So I'm giving it background color of what? Green. Then I need to give it a width. I'll give it a width of 100%. 100% simply means you should take the full width of the screen. Then I need to give it a height of, let's say, 80 or 100 pixels. I'll maintain 80 pixels. Okay, so let me save. If I save and refresh, let's see what we have. notice that it has taken effect. We have a green background color, then the logo has appeared, then we also have our nav item. So we're still working on the nav bar. Okay, now let's have I think in this there is we have bottom, we have a white line at the bottom. So to do that is very easy. Now let's quickly achieve that. To do that, just add up something like border, that is border bottom. We're going to use border bottom, so we'll give it 2 pixels, we'll say solid, and we specify the color. In this case we can use white. So if I refresh now, notice that we now have that border bottom and it is white. Now let's work on the logo and the nav menu. Okay, of course the logo is going to remain in the left hand side while the nav items will move to the right hand side. Okay, now to achieve that, let's see how to achieve that. Okay, so if we go back to our HTML, we have yes, we have the div that is holding the logo. The class is logo. Then of course the second div is what? Nav menu. So let's work on the logo. So I'm going to call the logo class. So I'll give it period logo. Then I'll open my curly brace. So first thing first, I'm going to give it a width of let's say 20%. Of course the total width is 100. So I'll float it to left. Float left simply means it should remain at the left hand side. Okay, now let me call the next one after logo. Next is what? Nav menu. Okay, please, the name, your naming needs to be same with what you're calling in the CSS. Just the way you typed it here in your HTML page is the same way you're going to type it in your CSS. If there is error, of course your code is not going to work. All right, so I'm going to call this nav menu. All right, so this nav menu, I'm going to give it a width. I'll give it a width of the logo has taken 20%, so 20% from 100 will be left with what? 80. So I'll assign the 80 pixels, sorry, 80% to the nav menu. Then of course I'll give it a float of float is going to be right. Since logo is maintaining left, it means logo is going to stay at the left hand side while nav menu is going to float to the right hand side. So if I hit Ctrl S now and refresh, let's refresh our page, you notice that there was a little shift of nav items, right? So of course nothing happened to the logo because it's maintaining its position, that is the left hand side. All right, now I'll remove the bulletins that we have in the logo. Now to do that, we need to call this nav menu. Then in nav menu we have ul, and in ul we have what? You have your li. Okay, so now let's go back. To get to the list items, we need to first of all go through the nav menu. Then in the nav menu we have ul, then inside ul we have what? We have li. So this is the one we want to style. All right, so first thing to do here is to remove the bulletins that we have. So I'm going to assign text decoration. I'll give it text decoration, I'll give it none. List style is going to be none. So list style is going to clear the bulletins that we have. So if I refresh this now, you notice that the bulletin is gone. Okay, now we need to change the direction of the text. Of course you can see the text are on top each other. Now we need to make them appear on a horizontal row. Okay, so just the way they are appearing, we call this this is block. The list style is block. So we want to change it from block to inline. Okay, just the way they are appearing here. So this is inline styling. Now let's change this from block to inline. First of all, we'll increase the size, then we'll now change the display. All right, so I'll increase the font size now, so we can see, let's see, font size we can give it something like 25%. Then you hit Ctrl S, refresh. Now let's see, notice that there was an increase. Okay, now let's change their display. All right, so we'll now see display, we'll give it inline. Okay, let's save and refresh. Notice that they've moved from block to what, to inline. Now if you look at the finished products that we have here, there are spaces in between the items. Okay, so we need to add up space to them. Now to achieve that we need to go back to our CSS, then we'll add up margin. We can see margin left, we'll give it something like 10 pixels. So this is going to add up 10 pixels to each of the items. Okay, thereby achieving what we really want to achieve. Now if I refresh this, you notice that what, there is space in between the items now. Okay, now let's work on the color. I think by default every link you have on a website, by default it comes on blue, and of course it's going to be underlined. Now we don't want this blue color, and also we want to remove this underline. Now to do that, let's go back to our CSS. So we're going to call the link items. So to do that, of course, we need to move to nav menu, ULLI, then A. A is for the links, so this is where we'll get access to the link. So first thing first, we'll change the color from blue to, let's say, white. Okay, we'll give it white. Then we'll now say text decoration, we'll give it none. Text decoration, we'll give it none. So this is going to change the color to white, and also remove the background, the underline that we have. So notice that it has changed from blue to white, and the underline has disappeared. Okay, so we can make this bold, or we can also change the font family. Okay, so let's change the font family and make it bold too. So I'm going to give it font family. I'll maintain sans serif. Then I'll give it font width. Font width is going to be bold. Okay, all right, so if I hit Ctrl S now, let's check out to see what we have. Notice that there's an increase, and the font family has also changed. Okay, now we're going to add up hover effect. Hover effect is like when the user hover on the text, it should maybe change color, or increase the font, or decrease the font, or add any effect you want to add up. Okay, so that is what they call hover effect. Now to achieve that, first thing, I think here we're just going to change the color, and also transform the text from normal text to uppercase. You can see as I'm hovering, it has changed to uppercase. This one too is changing to uppercase. So that is the transition, that is the hover effect. So we're going to achieve that now. So to achieve that, I need to still call the nav menu, ULLIA, then column, then I'll type in hover. Okay, so here we'll change the color to, whenever the user hovers on the items, the color should change from white to, let's say, yellow or black, anyhow you want to put it. So let's say yellow. I'm going to give it yellow. Then the text should transform from normal text to uppercase. So we can use text transform, then you select uppercase. Okay, then we should also have an underline. So we can see text decoration, we can see underline. Okay, so if I hit Ctrl S now, let's refresh the page to see what we have. Now notice that as I'm hovering on it, let's see. Wow, nothing is, it didn't take effect. Why? Let's check up. Let's check up where we have issue. Nav. Okay, yeah. So like I told you, you have to make sure your spelling is correct. So you can see this is nav menu. So nav menu, I think misspelled it, so I need to save. So I'll refresh now. Now notice that if I hover, notice the effect. Okay, that is the hover effect. So that is how easy it is to achieve this. Okay, now I think we're done with this. One last thing we need to do is we need to work on the logo. Now if you look at what we have here, the logo here is round, that is the background is round, and there is a space by the left hand side. So we need to achieve that. All right, so let's go back to our code. Okay, so the logo, let me go back to the HTML page. So the logo, there is a div called, okay, the name of the div is what, the class is what, is logo. All right, so I need to go back to where we have logo. Yes, so I'll just add up here. I'll call the logo itself, so class logo. I'm telling the system that there's a class called logo, and in that class there is an image. Okay, there is an img tag there, and that is the tag we want to style. So first thing first, I need to give it a width. I need to give the image a width, so I'll give it something like 80. The complete height of our navigation bar is 80, so we can give it something like 75 pixels. Then I'll give the height 75 pixels. Okay, and I'll give the border radius of, let me give it border radius of 10 first, for you to see how it works. All right, so if I refresh this page now, notice that the height and width of my logo has changed. Now the border radius is what made this round edges of the logo. Notice that the logo has, if I remove, let me remove the border radius so that you see the difference. So if I remove this border radius, let's say I leave it on, I change it to 0. So if I save this and refresh my page, notice that it is square by default. Now if you add up border radius, it means you want to round the edges. Okay, you want to round the edges of your image. That is the work of border radius. Now I want to make it round, complete round. If I leave it on, let's say 30 pixels, let me put it on 30 pixels so you see the difference. So it's going to round the edge of my logo. Notice that it has around the edges of my logo, but then it is not completely it has not made it a complete cycle. Now to achieve a complete cycle, of course the total size of a cycle is 360. Now to achieve the size of the cycle, just give it border radius of 50%. 50% is going to make it round completely. So if I refresh this now, yes, notice that we have the exact shape that we have here. All right, so one last thing we need to do is to add up space at the left hand side of our logo. Now to do that, just come after the border radius, just give it margin left. I'm going to give it margin left of let's say 10 pixels. 10 pixels should be enough. So if I refresh this, yes, you can see it moved a little. So we can also give it padding top. Padding top is just to create a little space. Notice that at the bottom we have small space. Here we can also have a little space at the top. Now we can use padding to achieve that. Okay, so we can just give it padding top of, let's say 2 pixels. 2 pixels should be enough for it. Okay, so if I refresh this now, notice that, yeah, the logo is now at the middle. The height of course is I think is 80 pixels, sorry, 75 pixels. Yes, but the height of the green background is actually 80. So the height of the logo is 75%, 75 pixels, sorry. I think it's okay. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how easy it is to create a beautiful navigation bar, just like you are seeing. You can see it's very easy to work on. So you can try this and create it for your company or whatever website you're working on. Is very easy to work on. So let me just go through the code again. So this is our home, this is our HTML file, and we now have our what, this is the CSS. So yeah, so you can go through the code. Okay, so guys, I hope you were able to get value from this video. All I need from you is share this video, like the video, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, all right, so looking forward to seeing you in our next video. All right, bye.